afternoon. Welcome to Rise Up Champs. I'm Brad Stein. I'm the host, and I'm joined by a special guest today. His name is Jason Patterson. He's the athletic director of Orange Glen High School in gorgeous San Diego, California. Jason, I have to ask, what time did you go to sleep after watching that beautiful World Series game number 7 last night?
Oh, it was fantastic. That was a great game to watch, and just is what sports is all about. So, I usually get to bed around 11 anyway. So it was nice to watch that and enjoy a good game.
Awesome. Now, you've been the athletic director for how many years?
This is my 7th year here at Orange Glen.
What challenges do you face being a low economic school competing with more of, let's say, privileged schools?
It's a good question. The majority of our kids that play football and most of our sports don't come with any prior experience as far as organized sports. So that's one thing that we kind of start from scratch, teaching the basics of the sports and everything else. So I think the other schools, have been to camps and have played at Pop Warner and all of those different things. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is just teaching all aspects of the game to the kids.
As an AD, an athletic director, what's your role in getting your programs back to winning ways?
I think it's a lot of it is a matter of getting great coaches in, coaches that have a lot of passion for, number one, the kids, and then number two, just the school as a whole. And I think if you got great coaches that care about kids, you're gonna do some good things, and that's my number one concern when I hire a coach. And it's exciting. I like watching coaches grow. I like watching kids improve, and I have a great job.
He's Jason Patterson, athletic director of Orange Glen High School, joining us on Welcome to Rise Up Champs with Brad Stein. What do you look for in a coach? What are the main attributes when you're interviewing?
I think number one, I look for passion, just why they're in it, because coaching high school sports has a lot of different challenges, and so you really have to have a love of the game and a love for the kids. And so passion, number one, and then beyond that, just that they have a good knowledge of the game, because as we all know, the majority of kids don't go on to play college sports, so learning the game, the fundamentals, and hopefully it's something they can continue, being athletic beyond their high school years.
If you were interviewing me, I walked into your office, and me, Brad Stein, you're interviewing me for the head football coach of Orange Glen High School, what's the first question you would ask me?
I'd probably just ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, because you can get a lot from that. You know why they're there, and then just a little bit of background, because I think as athletic director, what I really try to do is build a rapport with the coach, and I'm going to have my tips on what we hope our programs look like, and we would have to be able to work together to have a common goal. So I would want to learn more about you first.
All right, fair enough. When do you know it's time to move on from a certain coach? Let's say you've had maybe 5 years of a down season. When do you know it's time to move on?
That's a good question. With our sports, our sports over the last 7 years is really, we're kind of getting an upswing. We're getting more competitive in the majority of our sports, so it's bringing in our kids without a lot of background of the sport. I don't like to judge a coach on the wins and losses. I really kind of want to judge kind of the character of the kids. A big thing that we try to do at Orange Glen is we want our players to act like a champion on and off the athletic field. So I would be looking into, are the kids growing academically? Are they growing as far as their skills? Are they growing as men or, women? And that's what I try to judge our coaches on, because there are some sports where we're a little outmanned, but to me, that's the beauty of high school sports. You deal with adversity. How do you overcome it? And if we can do that, if we can teach that to teenagers, I think our job is we're good. I try to focus more on planning for the success and reaching those goals versus, hey, did we win a championship or not? And ultimately, if we plan for success, the championships will come.
Do you coach currently?
I do. I took over the head football job. This is my third year as the head football coach also.
How difficult is that, balancing being the head football coach and the AD overseeing all athletics?
You know, it can be very challenging, and I think the biggest challenge is just the time constraints. I feel like in the fall, when as a head football coach, I try my very best to be a great athletic director and still focus on all the sports. But the biggest challenge is just the time management. And, you know, but we're trying to push our kids to manage their time with that, you know, academics and athletics, you know, being a good person. So I kind of feel that's my challenge. I want to lead by example and try to manage the time correctly. So it's a good challenge, but I enjoy it.
He's Jason Patterson, athletic director and head football coach of Orange Glen High School, on Welcome to Rise Up Champs. What do you like best about coaching?
Oh, I think that's an easy one. I love building a relationship with the kids. Getting to know the kids outside of the athletic field is fun. It's great. You know, anymore, most high school sports are year round, so we're doing speed training and weightlifting year round. So I like to just kind of get to know the kids and help them grow in all aspects. And if I ever get tired of the relationships, I think it's time for me to get out of coaching.
I have to ask you this question. What do you like least about coaching?
That's a good question. You know, I love most all aspects of it. I think sometimes the things that are kind of unforeseeable, that you just you think you got things going in the right direction, and then you don't play well, or you know, one of your players makes a bad decision in the classroom, and you think, wow, I need to go back and kind of reevaluate what I'm doing. So just those curveballs that are unavoidable, but it definitely keeps you on your toes, especially when we're trying to build the strong competitive program. You just got to be on your toes, I guess.
What do you say to your team after like a really difficult loss?
You know, good question. Regardless of the win or the loss, there's almost always a guarantee that there's something to build on. And you know, sometimes when you get blown out, you can almost prepare your speech a little earlier than you'd want to, rather than those close games. You know, you hate to say, but those close games where you just give it up in that last 30 seconds, you know, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just, being a competitor, we should have had that one. But
that's right.
Yeah, I really just, the win or the loss, try to get our effort better for the next week. And I feel if we get better as an individual, our team grows, and that's really what I'm after. And then, like I said earlier, I think the victories and championships, those will come by our preparation and our effort. And so that's usually what I focus on after a tough loss.
Do you take like notes during the first half, some things maybe you want to say to your team during halftime?
You know, I don't write them down. I kind of get some mental notes. And this being my third year as a head coach, I've been fortunate enough to bring in some really strong character and some strong football knowledge coaches. So I try to take little notes, and I know we're going to make adjustments football, but I'm also trying to figure out what it's going to take to motivate us to kind of continue to play at a high level or to get us to start playing there. So I do take some mental notes as we're going and, you know, try to make the correct adjustments at halftime.
The Orange Glen High School Patriots. How much pressure is that to share the name Patriots? And you know what I'm referring to.
Oh, I do. Fortunately, we're on different coasts. So, but you know, it's nice in the sense that we're our own entity, and it's I'm a graduate. I'm an alumni here from way back in '89, and so I have a lot of pride for our school, and we have a lot of coaches that are alumni also. So we build on what we're all about, not worry about the name that with the pro sports and all the other things.
Fair enough. Jason Patterson, Athletic Director of Orange Glen High School, joining us on Rise Up Champs. What were your goals coming into this season?
Our goals are pretty consistent that we've had the last couple of years. It's just to play with great effort on every play, and then to be the most prepared team when we walk on the field. And we believe if we can do those two things, which we have yet to accomplish on a daily basis or in a game, but if we focus on those, we think they're going to lead into our end goals, which we're always trying to be league champions and CIF champions, but we focus less on talking about the championships and more just trying to get us to compete every day. And I think that is we try to prefer daily goals versus the end goals.
Awesome stuff, Jason. Thank you so much for joining us on Rise Up Champs. I appreciate your time.
Brad, appreciate you giving us a call, and anything to represent Orange Glen, I'm happy to help. And Rise Up Champs, I think it's great what you guys are doing, and I thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.